Hello, my absolutely beautiful Gemini friends, and happy birthday right out of the gate to the early Geminis who will be celebrating your birthday this month. And this is your May 2023 horoscope, if you didn't guess that already. Gemini, this month, really interesting. Not only do we have the eclipse, Jupiter is on the move. We've also got Mercury coming out of retrograde, and we will end the entirety of the Mercury retrograde cycle in the energy of Taurus. Now, Mercury being your ruling planet, you want to be paying attention to what the ruling planet is doing. So as it comes direct, comes back online, I am really hoping that you have taken the season between between April and May to get quiet, to go into your quiet space and see what really truly lights you up. What are you passionate about when you've searched your soul for what needs to end or what needed to transition out? Things you've been working on behind the scenes, understanding your spirit guides or your spiritual guidance or intuitive system. I am hoping that you have been able to use this season to make a head-heart connection that will guide you as we travel through May. So plenty going on. Now, before we jump in, remember to grab your digital transit calendar. That is got a discount on it. You can do that in the description box down below. If you're still watching this in April, before we get to the May timeframe, the Astrology 101 and 102 digital courses that are self-paced are still on sale for $25 each, also in the description box down below. And last but not least, I hope you will be joining me at Norwalk, and that's just going to be at the end of May. Got all the details for you in the description box down below. All right, Gemini friends, let's get in here and see what's happening this month. Now, first of all, right at the beginning of the month, as we are coming in on the 1st, we've got Pluto stepping into retrograde in this energy of Aquarius, okay? So this came in and started to light up your 9th house space, publishing, marketing, broadcasting, and it started to be this symbol. I would ask you to be looking at where you're rising to power, rising to fame, rising to notoriety, where you have had conflicts going on in this particular area, or you felt like, was there a travel plan or something with education you were having to really dig through, or you felt like you were in a power struggle with, legal battle, travel, any of these kinds of things, Gemini. What you think your level of faith over the next 20 years is going to be so developed and refined as we work with this Aquarian energy that I would ask you, from March until today, until the 1st of May, what are the signatures that have started to change very much so for you? And who are the people in your social group as well that have really started to change, Gemini? Because truly, different ideas about the world that you live in, no matter what country you're in, have flooded into your life. And how has this changed what you believe, how you believe, and also how you communicate that, okay? When we get to the 5th, we are going to have an eclipse. It's eclipse time. It's full moon lunar eclipse happening at 14 degrees of Scorpio. And I have to say, in terms of a lunar energy that's going to ask us to end something, acknowledge something, or make this adjustment, Gemini, I really like this eclipse for you because it's happening in your 6th house. So health, wellness, daily routines, but also if you freelance something or you own your own business and you have employees or something like that, it also is going to spark up this area. Service, how you are of service to people. So this area gets lit up, and what I feel like happens for you over this next 6 months is you get a real sharp change in prioritizing and productivity, right? Like, how have you been? It's almost like in this be productive in how I do my daily life, including how you think about yourself, how I'm of service to other people. You get supercharged because things get out of the way. It's like, I can surrender that. That doesn't work for me anymore. I don't need that story anymore. It's been building inside of you the entire time anyways, and I think that this eclipse over this next 6 months really helps you to shed what is keeping you unproductive, what is just a distraction, okay? So when we get to the 7th, we are going to see Venus move into the energy of Cancer. Mars is also over in the energy of Cancer at this particular time. But when Venus moves into Cancer and lights up your 2nd house zone, this is a time you want to start to pay attention to your finances and to your relationships, okay? Where do you need to do a little tending? Where can you call things in? I actually think that this is a great transit for putting out products. right? If you wanted to sell or you wanted to develop or you wanted to market a product, it could be really well received during this transit. Now, if it's not something that's already been out there, I would still caution you to just be mindful of starting a brand new campaign of something because Mercury is still retrograde at the time. But let's say you had an old product or an old book or an old whatever was going on, right? Something that provided finances for you, and you wanted to just showcase it differently, that would be a great energy here because Venus will help it in the second house attract and have be well received. Now, other things, this is still Cancerian energy. You could be spending more on food. You could be spending more on comforts, or you could be spending more to start because Cancer is a cardinal energy, something around your finances. Now, this is great too because if you're looking for a new job, I would be applying during this particular season, okay? When we get to the 14th, we are going to see Mercury turn direct in the energy of Taurus right there at 15 degrees. Now, this retrograde of your ruling planet working in Taurus again has been here in this 12th house. So really, truly, you know, having spiritual protection here when we move into the 12th house to explore our creativity, to explore things that need to transition out because they, again, have no value. Exploring old ideas or old stories that you've told yourself, old resources that you can now make decisions to allow them to come forward. The other thing I was thinking of is like, Mercury is pretty business savvy, and I keep finding the word enterprising coming up for you. Like, you can be quite enterprising, right? Like, what do you have back here in the closet? The closet of spirituality, of meditation, of breath work, of old stories, of past lovers. What do you have back here that is actually a valuable resource? And you feel it up. You feel like I've seen it for what it is, and now I can make better use of it, whether it be to shut the door on it and let it go to rest, or it's like, yeah, this makes it into my story. This makes it into my work, and it allows me to help others, right? Or this expresses my creativity. Whatever it is, as Mercury is direct, I would ask you to go back to things that started to show up in this area for you April 7th, when Mercury moved into its pre-retrograde shadow time. Things started to come to the table. Then we took the retrograde on the 21st. It's direct today, and we will see it come fully to a close May 31st. So what was going on for you in the 12th house? Privacy, secret, things that are hidden. All right, May 16th, we've got Jupiter moving into the energy of Taurus, and Jupiter has been here for you before. Now, if you go back 12 years and look at what was happening in this area of your chart, again, in this 12th house space, what was going on? What was expanding for you? What was changing? Where did you feel like there was a benefit? Or where did you feel like you had protection or you were guided? You know, where did you develop something or have a spiritual experience or write that song or that play, or you went on that secret mission or that trip, you know, whatever it was? Go back into your chart because Taurus has a lot of longevity. So whatever Jupiter was working on at this time and you were experiencing, you've built something quite solid here, hopefully, right? Now, the other thing I want to keep in mind with Jupiter is that I know sometimes we describe Jupiter as it's like a Santa Claus planet. It's bringing you all these blessings, but I don't really see it that way. Jupiter is a benefic, so typically what it's bringing doesn't feel like when Mars or Saturn brings you something, but Jupiter matches you where you're at. So what you've got here, Jupiter will expand. And if you look around and you say, man, I've really put my back into this area is going well for me, I've really developed it, Jupiter will expand that, right? Or if it's like this area of my life is where I'm really struggling and I feel like I don't have resolution, Jupiter expands it. But either way, what also happens with the expansion is your new teacher or the next level that is beyond this horizon, Jupiter brings that into focus. So if whether you perceive it to be good or bad, your next teacher or your next availability to find your next teacher to take you to the next place is Jupiter calling that in as well. Now, just a day later, which I think is really important, on the 17th, we're going to see Jupiter come into a square with Pluto. And I think that this is the biggest deal because as Jupiter and Pluto square here, and Pluto is retrograde at this time, remember that. It's our symbol, you guys, that we are done. Like the world, the way we used to know it, making decisions only based on the things from the past is done. Like we officially enter into the realm of the new world, and we have to start making decisions here. So that includes, what is that old hurt, or what is that old heartbreak, or what is that old behavior that continues to pop up for you? You've really had it come into focus since March. Now you have to deal with it. Like focus in. It's one thing. Almost everybody has just one thing. What is it for you as these two are squaring against each other? And your old system of belief and behavior is being absolutely challenged because it cannot travel forward with us into the new world and into the new vibration that we're going to. It's a really important day, I think. Okay. When we get to the 20th, we're going to see Mars enter into the energy of Leo. So as Mars moves into Leo, first of all, it's Mars in fire. Okay, so the movement here is a bit more comfortable. As opposed to, Mars was in Gemini for an extended amount of time. I know you know all about that, Gemini. But then it cooled down and cooled its heels just a little bit and kind of got monotonous in the energy of Cancer. And now it's like Mars is rested, cooled off, focused, and ready to go here in this energy of Leo, right? So this lights up your third house space. So writing, teaching, short distance travel, contracts, buying, selling, working on that website, all of these things fall into the vein that all the way until July, you have this energy of Mars here to help you get things done. Things with siblings will also be in this realm as well. And I'm sorry, you guys, let me move back to the 19th because we do have the new moon happening in the energy of Taurus. And we've done a lot of talk about what's going on with the Taurus energies in your chart. So as we experience this new moon, it is your opportunity to plant your seeds of intention to truly, from this 12th house space, it's 28 degrees. What do you want? What do you want to create? What do you want to surrender? What are you working on behind the scenes that as we move into Gemini season, which is just in a couple days, you're going to start to bring some of these energies to light and to represent who you are in your own identity currently. Speaking of which, let's go to the 21st because happy birthday. We officially begin Gemini season as the sun moves into Gemini, bringing light, heat, life, vitality. This is your annual restart. This is your new year. So in your new year, new year, new you. I don't necessarily think that needs to be the case, but I do want to ask you, what is your perspective? Where can you see that you have changed so much and you are excited, you are giddy, you are passionate, you are empowered to move forward into this next year? And do you have the network to go with you? Do you have the information you need? Do you have the technology that you need to proceed forward? What conversations, Gemini, Mercury energy, are you not willing to have with people anymore because it is not worth your time and your energy, right? These are really important questions that I think. Now, one other thing I want to say as we enter into Gemini season, and we do this every year, is that Gemini, it is a great time for you to also practice listening. Making sure that you are cueing into your listening practice this year will really help you to discern who is in your network and to prioritize what you need in order to get the jobs done, right? Okay, my beautiful Gemini friends, I hope you have a gorgeous birthday. I hope you have a gorgeous month. You've got a lot of cosmic support in order to move you forward. And with this 12th house lit up, I think you have a lot of cosmic spiritual protection to move forward with a lot of courage as well. So Gemini, let me know how things are unfolding for you in the comment section down below. Like this video, comment, share, subscribe. I love you, and I'll see you next month. Bye, Gemini.